We enter, I believe the shop was called Magical Essentials, wasn't it?
Indeed.
Okay. And we approach Gavin.
Gavin is behind the counter. He is currently in the process of scribing a scroll.
Brandon will just like politely cough and then just say, excuse me, Gavin, may we have a few moments of your time, please?
1 second. Yeah. Puts down the quilt. Okay. Yeah. How can I help you today?
Oh, very good. Me and my partner here, we recently came into a couple of items which we feel might be of some interest to you. We noticed previously that you do sell enchanted weapons and items, though I recall that they're not your specialty, but perhaps these might take your fancy. Suppose we present them with the Cittern first.
Looks it over. Quite uninterested at first, before he then starts to turn his head slightly, picks up a monocle and puts it on, looking it over, continues inspecting it, and continues. About 5 minutes later, I'll offer you 1,500 gold for it.
No, it's worth way more than that.
We have had this appraised by a third party, and they've assured us that it is worth, at least, if I correct me please if I'm wrong, David.
You said 5,000.
Exactly.
I could do you 2,800 gold and 1,500 in resources for enchanting if you enchant.
Brandon will turn to David and Brandon will say, the resources would be a boon. What would that come to in total? That would be 3,800 plus 500. So that would be 4,300. So we would be getting
700 less.
Under market value. So do you believe that's equitable? Or?
I mean, if we can get 700 materials more, then sure. We don't need just the gold.
And actually, to be fair, maybe scrolls. We would probably accept if you find that they'd be useful to us, David, if there's any other spells.
Oh, yeah, scrolls.
Because, I mean, that is your primary export, isn't it? Because
roll me persuasion, see if you'll go up to that.
Would we have advantage because me and David double teaming this?
I'll allow it, but you've got to roll it when you ask the question.
I think our persuasion is about the same, actually.
Mine is +1, I think.
So mine's 20.
Mine's
so,
+2.
So I got 22. Just out of curiosity, does he only have first and second level, or does he have any third level scrolls?
He has third levels as well.
I think we said before that basically our characters can look and we can just ask for spells and you tell us if they're there.
Yes.
So there's a couple of spells that I would be interested in. That being Haste and Hypnotic Pattern.
Pricing wise, third levels will go for 250, and he's willing to meet the extra 700 in value in scrolls.
Alright.
Haste is indeed there. Hypnotic Pattern is not.
Fair enough.
So you have fly?
You know what? I'm going to do an odds and even if fly is there. What do you want?
I take odds.
Not there. I should just do that for all of them, really, shouldn't I?
Is Silvery Barbs there?
Odds or evens.
I'll call even. Ah, neat. So
Oh, it is.
yeah, that's nice.
Do you have any cleric spells?
Oh, that's a way to fix it.
Because I know that Jun in particular really needed spells.
Guiding Bolt, Shield of Faith, Healing Word, Find Traps, Locate Objects, Spiritual Weapon, Warding Bond, Glyph of Warding.
Do you, Brandon, know if June has Shield of Faith?
Yeah, I believe I have seen him cast it. You have Sanctuary as well.
In that case, I think we should take Spiritual Weapon.
Actually,
We already have that.
yeah, we already have
We
that,
do?
Dave.
Oh.
Yeah, I think we got that actually last time we were here. Actually, I did want to inquire. I mean, I know you've got it because it was in your selection last time, unless you sold it since, I suppose. I would be interested in Enlarge Reduce.
Good thing Moira's not there.
I totally didn't think about using that. Can't prove
Yeah,
it.
it's still there.
So yeah, Brandon would be interested in that. Not for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon is also going to ask, and this is probably going to seem given that thingy, is Web there?
Odds and evens. What do you want?
Going to call even?
It is not there.
Damn it. Okay. Any other spells you want to ask about? Like for Warlock, I mean.
Not really.
My wife's spell. Sorry.
No way.
Find Wife.
My wife!
The spell is literally just called Find Wife. Oh, actually, an obvious one for fair level, counter spell.
Do you have
Odds or
that?
evens?
Even.
They got it.
Bro,
So-
you guys just gambling at this point?
Yes.
We're basically, like, Gambling is a through line in this world somehow.
So which one we take? We take counterspell.
That sounds like it would be a good idea. So
700 gold worth.
I would very much like haste, David.
Yeah, we take that as well.
So let's add up the values. So
I'm
haste.
doing that.
Okay.
There's another 250, so we have 200 gold worth left over. And large reduce is how much?
That was 180.
Large reduce is 180, so we have 20 gold left. Was there anything else on the list?
I mean, I don't think there's anything for 20 gold. I think the cantrips were 40.
No, just offer you a cantrip for that, so it'll be fine.
Okay, any cantrips that would be interested in, Dave? I'll just go
Extra strikes if you want them.
No. I left that life behind me. Actually, Dave, how about this one? Mending.
Yeah, sure.
That seems like it could just generally be handy.
Let's take that one as well.
Okay, so are we happy?
How much material did we get?
1,500?
1,500.
I'm presuming that that's going to rest in my possession just because I'll be the guy using it.
Yeah.
Alright, good.
1,500 stuff of magical items?
Magical materials.
Where the fuck are you gonna store that?
In the back of holding for now.
Well, Brandon actually got a backpack last time, if you remember, specifically for that. So I would say that Brandon would reuse that because you gave him a backpack and pouches, if I remember right, Pete.
Yes. And he hands it all to you in pouches. I've forgotten how I grouped the pouches.
I don't know. I mean, maybe for simplicity's sake.
Pouch of 50.
It was probably pouches of 50. Let me see what did I write a description? No, of course I didn't. Actually, no, that was something else. Oh yeah, hang on. Backpack of magical components. Yeah, 8 pouches contain. Oh, it's 25 you did actually, but maybe 25. you could just give them bigger pouches to just make it a bit easier to.
You can also say that any additional material can be stored in the back of holding.
So, how much did you say you just got? 1,500?
Yes. Okay. And how much gold?
2,800.
2,800.
50. Okay, you're going to put that into party funds for now, presumably?
Yep.
All right. Very good. Scrolls. Guessing the ones that I asked for I'll receive. Or they're going to use back holding.
Counterspell, haste, and large reduced and mending. Which is silky robes?
It was... actually, what was it, Pete? It would be 100 if you were doing like the base line for first level
If it
spell?
was the first level, yes.
Alright.
If it's agreeable to you, Dave, I would like to get silver robes too.
That is agreeable.
Okay, thank you kindly, sir.
We also have something else to sell, which is a pattern for a magical item. Then I show him the ring of spell storing pattern.
Would like that, but I do not have the gold to buy it.
Well,
anything
we could also always trade for
in part exchange if that is feasible for you.
I don't want to lose all of my enchanting stock, but I could do scrolls.
When you say your enchanting stock, I'm assuming that you're referring to your magical materials, sir, just to make sure I understand the picture correctly. How much would we be willing to part with?
2,000.
And the rest in scrolls, do you think, Dave? Is that something that you could do for us?
I could scrape together the resource, 2,000. It'll leave me enough to replenish stock with, hopefully until I sell more.
So it'd be 2,000 in terms of magical resources. How much more would you be willing to give us in scroll value?
500.
Actually, the only thing that I would say is you actually made this point to me the other day when I came to buy your pattern. We are giving you something that would allow you to sell this item, which is market value at 2,500 gold. So could we potentially convince you for a little bit more, given that we're giving you the capacity to reproduce this?
Roll me a persuasion.
Advantage because we're double teaming.
Even though David's just standing there doing nothing.
He's giving me the help.
What is this? I mean, you only need to sell it twice and you have more than enough to
Is that going to confirm?
earn it back.
90.
I do 1,000 on scrolls, but I won't go any higher.
That's agreeable.
Very good.
Do you have also any 4th or 5th level scrolls?
No, I don't.
Do you have Dispel Magic?
Odds or evens?
Even.
They do.
I say we take that.
Okay. Did we discuss 3rd level cleric spells?
Glyph of warding.
Let's also get that Cliff of Warding.
Could we do any evens or odds, Pete, if we ask about specifics?
No revivify. No talk to dead.
Because he had that thing about necromancy. So basically anything.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you said no healing spells past Lesser Restoration, correct?
Healing word.
Yeah, which I believe John already has, I think.
Do you have Daylight?
Daylight, one of my spells.
Yeah.
Use?
So runes. Nope.
Come to think of it, I think we may have asked about guided bolt before.
I think Guiding Bolt they have.
If that was on the list, come to think of it.
Let's get that one as well.
Yeah, I think Jun is lacking for offensive options, and I think that would probably be a big boost then.
So they do now have a good stick.
This first level, right?
Yes. I mean, just in general, I think we could probably, like this purchase, we could probably do with prioritizing Jun because they were talking to me in general. They can change out their spells, but they are lacking for options.
Do you have Magic Circle?
That's runes.
Odds.
They got it.
You have Motivational Speech.
You're doing a great job, David.
You really want this for John?
I mean, it would definitely be a memorable speech. You can't say it wouldn't.
Odds or evens?
Even.
Ooh, actually,
Motivation today.
David, Zone of Truth could be a good one, and we know that that's available. Zone of Truth was 250.
250. Alright, let's take that one as well. Water Walk.
Spirit Guardians. That's a good one.
Ooh, would that kind of be?
Let's do Spirit Guardians first. Do your Spirit Guardians, which is Conjuration.
What is your choice?
Even.
Nope.
Water Walk, also even.
Yes.
Let's take that one. What was the budget again?
So it's 2,000 magical materials and then 1,000 for spell scrolls. How much have we used so far?
More than 1,000.
We've used more than 1,000. Okay. What do we have?
Silvery Barbs, we're gonna keep that. Dispel Magic is a good one to keep. Cliff of Warding, Guiding Bolt, Magical Circle, Zone of Truth, and Water Walk.
How many? So out of those, which probably have the most applications?
I see Magical Circle being useful.
Glyph of Warding.
So 200 GP Diamond Dust, I think.
It's one of those things that I think would be very useful later on, but I'm not sure how. That it'd probably be good for setting up traps, I imagine.
Yeah.
I know there's some funky interactions you can do with Glyph of Warding, but could we take advantage of them now?
Probably not.
Guiding Bolt would be the most.
John needs a ranged attacking spell, I think, and that's a good one because it also gets advantage on its radiant.
What do you mean? John has Secret Flame.
You're hilarious, Pete.
Alright, so if we take Guiding Bolt, Silvery Barbs, Dispel Magic, and Magical Circle, we can either take Cliff Warding, Zone of Truth, or Water Walk.
How many applications will Water Walk have, do you think?
Not a lot.
Because how much would that save if we didn't get that?
250.
In that case, I'm just going to ask a quick question. Gavin, we have somebody with us who is trying to learn the basics of magic. Do you happen to have anything within a 250 gold budget that can kind of like provide any instruction material or like just anything on magic theory that might be useful for a complete novice?
A couple of things I could give you.
Do you mind if
Yeah,
we
I
have
got
a
a buck I can
look?
give you for that.
And how much would that be?
Take up the last 250.
May I have a look at the book?
You may look at the cover. You may not read it.
He can't read that either way.
I mean, I'm just wondering, like, just to kind of give me an idea of what the contents might be inside. I'm not asking for the specifics to kind of cause any problems, just to give me an idea of, like, when I give it to them, it's going to be a gift. So
It lists several different techniques to potentially awaken magic in someone.
yes, that will be very, very helpful, I think. So I will gladly take that from you, sir.
Alright, so then the book.
What is the book called, Pete? Since it'll probably be going into the bag of holding.
You still have 50 gold left.
50 gold. We could get a cantrip for that. Any candidates springing to mind? I'm just going to check cantrips for clerics in case we've missed something.
Druidcraft.
Which would actually be quite appropriate for John, unless your Tron is possible.
And totally Tron.
You're totally Tron.
It's not for clerics.
Pete, just to clarify, we're disallowing any of the 2024 stuff, right?
Why?
Sorcerer's Burst, if you've seen that before.
I have not.
I shall... In fact, I can put it into tabletop. Here you go. This is what it does. You've actually got to do something for a bit. It's basically, it looks like Chromatic Orb, but for a cantrip.
It's really strong.
It does seem so, that's why I'm asking.
I'm gonna say no.
Fair enough.
That does seem like a really good spell.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to ask specifically about it, just to make sure if you would be okay with it, but, okay.
I still say Eldritch Blast is still the best spell, but that's...
I mean, this
second
is...
place now.
But that's for sorcerers specifically. Okay, I think
How
in
you
that...
potentially roll... That's
What was that?
so much damage potential there. So if you're like level 20, you're going to be rolling 4d8 plus potentially 5 additional d8s.
Just to be clear, is that banned from the game or just not here?
I'm going to just outright say banned from the game.
So level 20, you got wish.
So in that case, I think Brandon is probably just going to ask about Minor Illusion, and if he has that.
I'm just going to say yeah for that.
minor illusion it is.
Right, and then we are all set.
Okay, so let's just go over. So that was 2,000 more for magical materials. So
I made a list.
I've already made. So I've now got 3,615 magical materials total. And have you already added all of the gold to party funds?
Not yet.
Maybe we do that first, just before we move. So I'm going to add silvery. In fact, I'm going to assume that we'll be meeting up with John and the others after this, won't we?
Yes, but not immediately.
Right. That seems ominous. Okay.
Alright.
Okay. So we can sort out like division of gold later if we want to kind of give a few into personal funds. Okay. I believe that is all the business that we want to conduct, Gavin. Thank you very much for accommodating us today.
You're welcome. Now, with that, as you leave the shop, you begin making your way over towards the lake. And as you walk off romantically alongside David towards the flowing waters, that is where we'll end the session.
Moonlight
Okay.
reflecting on the water.
Glittering off David's eyes.
Remember David?
You guys are really trying to ship Brandon with David.
No.
No, you are flirting with him.
You
David-
are constantly flirting with him, bro. He's a married man.
So David is just so proud that he thinks that anything that resembles positive interaction is flirtation.
Often does.
I'm sorry to disappoint David, but Mario is the only person for Brandon.
I'm also sorry to disappoint, but I'm a married man.
Well, yes, but I wasn't interested to begin with.
Sure.
Okay, so wow, that was a lot. There was a lot more stuff happening there than I thought was going to. That's going to be it for the session. I am going to have an aneurysm, I think, doing a notes list because, by God, I mean, my only saving grace is that there's going to be hardly any sound effects because it was that much just talking, but it's not going to matter because there's going to be so much to write.
Expecting to hear some quacks somewhere in there.
Until we speak again, we shall speak to you all later. Goodbye.